Gracie, you have to go over here. But look at my toe.
Okay, come here.
Hey, scoot down one more. Scoot down one more.
So, Anthony, you got a good shot. I think he's going to beat you. It's not that funny. That did jump over.
You're not sitting on my lap.
Nice over. Gracie, you come sit on my lap, not This is the most thirsty. He just walks over to the point. He's just like, this is why we're doing this.
Is that why she got the joke?
She does look like we're good. So I was like, that's what I like it.
You switch seats? I shit behind you.
I don't know. I just don't want the enemy.
Not when you do it.
Yeah, you'll just be alone and boner back there, and up there, you're just going to want to do You want to be the very front? You want to be the very back?
Wait, you said we had to come down.
That was Keenan.
Why do we have to come down?
Because we're going to most valuable third string player. That's me. Most valuable fourth string player. That's me.
Most valuable minority.
Most valuable cable. Most valuable muscle plate.
Most valuable.
How many
One, two, three, four.
You better.
Oh, right here, Hispanic. Are you Hispanic?
He's not Hispanic.
Hey, best
tell you that.
Are you
I'm not. Wait. What? You start, bro. You see the color of my skin? I'm not pale. I ain't no vampire.
No.
I'm sick.
Good evening, everybody. Really appreciate you coming to our football banquet. It's a great opportunity for us to recognize a lot of hard work by young men, their loved ones and families, and the support that we receive from our administration, our booster club, and our fantastic coaching staff. My name's Monty Thielen, and I'm really happy that you were able to join us here tonight. Starting things off this evening will be Coach Sean Farley with our CHASA Academic Awards.
Hey, good evening. As Coach said, my name is Sean Farley, and I have the pleasure during the season of being the Turk with academics. And the kids that I usually call in practice are in trouble with their grades or on the brink of being ineligible. I want to say that this season has been an amazing year academically for our students, athletes. We have had hardly any grade disciplines. If they have, the kids, I've made them aware of it. They've done a great job of getting their grades taken care of and being eligible for the next week's game. So tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing our academic all-state first team. The criteria for this award is that you must have a 3.60 or higher cumulative GPA. You must be a junior or above in school, a letter winner or equivalent in a sport, and must be CHASA sanctioned activity during the current season. So if I could, please come up to the stage. And let's hold our applause until they all get up here. First up, J.D. Neuenschwander with a 3.6 GPA. Keenan Griffin with a 3.6 GPA. Rudy Gish with a 3.63 GPA. Nate Smith with a 3.6 GPA. Malik Wynn, 3.65 GPA. Grayson Hardy with a 3.70 GPA. Josh Dane with a 3.74 GPA. Johnny Brookhart with a 3.75 GPA. Ethan Bolden with a 3.75 GPA. Levi Smith, 3.84 GPA. Logan Brager with a 3.87 GPA. Caden Smith with a 3.88 GPA. Gavin Taylor with a 3.96 GPA. Max Glenn with a 3.96 GPA. Nate Hollow with a 3.94 GPA. Now the really smart ones. Caleb Bolden with a 4.0 GPA. Cam Morrison with a 4.03 GPA. Jason Anderson with a 4.05 GPA. Clay Smith with a 4.10 GPA. And Zach Runyon with a 4.25 GPA. Let's give him one more round of applause. And next, I'd like to bring up Coach D with some thank yous that he has.
Let's go, Coach D.
All right, can we hear me all right? Good. First off, this is a little weird. I cannot see anybody. This is awesome. I just want to take a minute. We're going to thank some individuals, some people who need thanked. But first off, I'm going to be up here a few times tonight. I just want to get this one out of the way, kind of right off the bat. Before I thank anybody, I appreciate you guys know you're my family. I love everybody in this room. But I need to thank my wife. Okay? If you guys get a chance, you need to go watch Marcus Freeman. He's the new head coach at Notre Dame. And he talks about the family dynamic and sharing your family. The fact that you don't get to, your family doesn't choose to share you. And that's just the truth. Katie and Kennedy share me each and every day with you guys, and I love you guys. But I just need to thank her and take a minute to do that, so I appreciate you guys. Next up, so a couple people I want to thank is I want to thank the boosters. This whole thing is kind of put on because of them. This whole season's kind of happens because of them, and they do a very thankless job. I don't want to name them each individually because I'm going to forget somebody and I'm going to get in trouble for that. But I can't tell you how many times I've been up late at night texting one of them, okay, or sending out a reminder, telling somebody to send out an email. We are just so appreciative for the boosters and all that they do. Guys, I don't think we fully understand where we were 4 or 5 years ago. We had an iPad on the sideline, one. To where we are now, where we have 2 TVs, we have heated seats, we have generators, okay? We have the helmet, we have an end zone kit that runs itself, we have Bam Bam driving the golf cart. And all of that, okay? It's not only dedication of the parents in the community, but what all of the boosters do and do for this program, put on an awesome event like tonight. So please give it up for them and just give them a round of applause. This is kind of the never-ending thankless jobs. Next is I really need to thank Jay Smith, Dave Parker, the Hilfridges, the Boldens, Paulie, anybody and everybody that helped out with filming games and are streaming, and they're streaming right now for our production. When I first started here at Legend, there was a teacher here by the name of E.J. Cruz, and he was a coach as well. And he took a job up in Maine, and he literally handed me the filming equipment. And he said, D, if there's one piece of advice I can ever give you, don't be in charge of the film. And from that day forward, I've just been sitting thinking, how can I get help with this? And Jay and Dave and everybody has absolutely tackled it. It's unseen, but the kit that we have, the sideline, the end zone, just everything is unbelievable to where we can stream and have family watch it all over and have Ryder and Coit entertain us and Vaughn entertain us. It's truly remarkable, so I just want to give it up for them, just say thank you. All right, my last little bit up here. I would love to have all of the managers to the stage, please. Okay, all of them. Abby, Catherine, Tessa, Ellie, Mia, Jack, come on up. Abby, come on up. Up, all the way up. So, yet another thankless job, but our managers and our people that are in charge of film and broadcast, they do an amazing job just with our football program and all that we do. Jack, who's on the end, Jack does all of our kind of hype videos and our pump videos, and he blasts everything out. And he blasts everything out on Instagram, and guys, I mean, a huge part of this is, we want 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to want to come to Legend. And when they see videos like they see that Jack's pumping out, that's a huge thing. So Jack, we thank you. Next is Tessa, and Tessa's been a manager for us ever since she was a freshman. And this year she started taking photos on the sideline. And just to have those, it's kind of the same boat. Things to post, things to put on social media is absolutely amazing. Okay? Finally, I want to recognize all the managers. Okay? There's a common misnomer with managers that they're just there to date the players. But truly, in all seriousness, right, they help they help us out on a day-to-day basis. Okay? From flying the drones to getting yelled at about flying the drones, okay, to getting water to doing equipment. We're truly so thankful, and overall, they just have to deal with me on a day-to-day basis. So I'm really appreciative for all you guys do, and I thank you. Give it up for our managers. believe next up is Evan, who's going to talk a little bit.
Players see me bring a box, it's just because I have a black box of t-shirts for them, so sorry guys. I'm Evan Axelrod, I'm the president of the Booster Club, and before we really get to spend the rest of the evening recognizing the players, I wanted to take just a minute to recognize, a few groups. First and foremost, how about the parents, players. Your parents have been supporting you all season, they get you to practice, they get you food, they get you paid for. They've rooted you on. I think the stadium has been more packed this year than I've ever seen. So how about we give the parents a round of applause? And of course, Danny was just talking about the Booster Club, and again, I want to thank, I'm not sure how many Booster Club folks are in here. I think some people are still actually down, probably doing some cleanup from the Commons. But they, particularly this year again for me, they've made my job a lot easier. Everyone has put in a ton of work, from game day experiences to getting the equipment we need, getting food we need, but they've been a huge help, and so let's give another round of applause to them. And then in particular for tonight, tonight's event was, although many people on the booster board helped, this was really put together by Jamie Brookhart and Mandy Anderson. So let's give them a huge and then most importantly, again, before we celebrate you guys as the players, we want to take a minute and celebrate the coaches. The coaches really are the heart and soul of the team, guys. In the last 3 years, Legend Football has become an elite football program. And it's because of the talented players that are coached by the incredibly talented and dedicated coaches. The coaches are, the time and energy and the thought they put into this program and the love that they have for this program is amazing. And I would argue it rivals any program out there in terms of their dedication. So let's have all the coaches come to the stage, please. Look at that fine group of coaches right there. Coach Thielen? He's talking to Coach Aldridge in a second. Coach Thielen, you want to come up, please? So this year, to commemorate the season and to thank the coaches, we decided that we'd like to present them just a small token of our appreciation. We've got every coach a commemorative football. Yep. Yeah. Commemorating the back-to-back Continental League championships. Let's give an applause to that. Additionally, we also have just another small token of appreciation for all the coaches that will be given a little gift card as well. So, Coach Thielen. So let's give all the coaches a huge round of applause.
No, bro, you.
All right, one more huge round of applause for the coaches, guys.
Hola, buenas noches. I'm Coach Aldridge, Coach Devin Aldridge, and I'm here to introduce and recognize our JV football season. If I can have all the JV players join me on stage, please. Every single one. Scoot up, make some room. All right, I think that's just about all of them. Okay, I would also like to start by saying some thanks to those that supported our JV team this year. First, I wanted to thank Kathy Mezzo for the meals after each JV game, home and away. I also wanted to thank the film crew. They had a role in our JV games as well for streaming and filming. So again, thanks to them. Everybody that helped with the chain crew, scoreboard during the games. I'd like to thank my assistant coaches, Matt Wilson, Chancey Cunningham, Doug Johnston, and Jason White, with honorary fill-ins of Danny Pietro and Josh Weisberg. And then most importantly, again, the parents of our players for driving your sons to not only home games but away games, as well as the absence of buses. Your support at games and just everything that you've done to raise the players that are standing here tonight. A lot of their success stems from you, so thank you. Yeah, go ahead. I also don't do this enough, but I also want to take some time to thank my wife, Brooke, who is here tonight. But being married to a two-sport coach is not easy by any means, especially with two little ones at home. She has supported me since day one, and I appreciate her for that. So thank you, Brooke. I love you. And a round of applause for all these people that I thank. Now, as for JV football, this is the team. These are the guys. I'm going to start by saying that I'm incredibly proud of this JV team. It's not easy being on JV. However, two things that I tell them every year at the practice right before our first JV game is that first, we have fun, and second, we win. A lot of our JV players not only suit up for Saturdays, but also for Friday nights. Dressing for 23 football games in one season is tough, but they executed and did what was asked of them, and I am proud of them for their efforts. We finished the year with 9 wins and 1 loss. Since I have been at Legend, this is the first year we've actually played a full 10-game schedule. I am pretty sure that it was the best JV season in Legend history. False. Okay, we were 8-1. This one we were 9-1. Do the math. Okay. We averaged 36.7 points a game, while holding our opponents to only an average of 17.2 points a game. We outscored our opponents this year 367 to 171. The most memorable JV game to date for me in my entire time here as the JV head coach, and will be for a long time, has to be our Regis game, where we beat them 14-13 with blocked field goals sealing the deal. I may have reached a new personal record on my vertical that game with how high I was jumping of excitement. Between that game and the varsity game the next day, I was slightly worried about my hydration levels because of the adrenaline that I was experiencing that weekend. It was a true test of their hard work, their grit, and their perseverance to not stop until the very end of the game. It was a great team win. Now, as most of you transition into varsity football next year, remember that the pressure is on, and we have some very big shoes to fill. And we are counting on you to fill them and keep this team great. Thank you for an amazing season, and let's get better this off season. Thank you. Participation awards are on the table below. When we are done, you can come pick yours up. I will now turn the time over to Coach Thielen.
So obviously this was a highly successful football season here at Legend High in 2021, and we're so proud of all of our young men. And I have the pleasure of introducing in shifts the 33 seniors that are earning varsity letters tonight. Over here on the table, if this is your first varsity letter, you'll find your LT and your pins on the table. If you've already been awarded an LT, this is for all of our players, and you're just receiving a pin or a football. There also, everything's on the table right there, so we're hoping to get them handed out to the vast majority of our kids, and if there's any mistake that has happened, we'll get it cleared up just as soon as we return to school, and we apologize in advance for any clerical errors that we have made in trying to stage this wonderful event. So 33 seniors, I think, communicates that these young men have a strong tie with each other. You know, it doesn't hurt that they started off their high school experience, many of them, on our 10-0 freshman team from their freshman year, and that just kind of built momentum. But they have great friendships and bonds that will literally, as many of us adults know, it'll last a lifetime. So we're going to award letters to 5 of them right now, and I'll be back multiple times. You'll be plenty tired of me by the time the evening is over, if you're not already. First varsity award that we'd like to hand out tonight is to Will Chatham. Will's a young man that challenged my patience on a number of situations and made me really appreciate, made me really think about how inclusive we want our program to be, the great benefits that so many of us get from participating on the football team. And I'm really thankful for Will, because he made me take a deep breath a few times and really evaluate what we're here for, why we're all working together, and I'm appreciative of Will for that. Congratulations, Will. Next, we'd like, stay right there, Will. Next, we'd like Nate Paulo. You know, Nate's a lacrosse player that Coach Preston recommended to us, and usually I take our coach's recommendations pretty highly, and Coach Preston was spot on here. Nate's a very good athlete, demonstrated by his ability to long snap. He's really responsible, he's really dependable. He's a really good kid, and he's headed off to the New Jersey Institute of Technology to play lacrosse. And we wish him nothing but the best. Next, Jacob Birch. So last spring, Jacob and his friend Keenan approached me and said that Jacob wants to be a part of the football team. And again, we're a very inclusionary organization, and he helped us a tremendous amount this year. And he's a young man that deals with a health issue extremely quietly behind the scenes. And we really benefited from Jacob being a part of our football program. We want to congratulate him tonight. And how about that friend of Jacob, Keenan Griffin? We're really proud of Keenan. He's a two-sport athlete. He's headed to Hastings College in Nebraska after graduating from here. I think we all know that Keenan faced some significant adversity during the course of the season, handled it with tremendous grit and endurance and poise. He'll always be a part of our football family, and we know that he'll be back multiple times with Aiden still in our program, and we're extremely proud of Keenan. Our next, Cole Batali. Cole's like a lot of our young men, number one on their Christmas present list needs to be a haircut. He's a 4-year member of our program. He's really helped us in the weight room. He's helped us in the practice field. He's a good kid. I got crossways with Cole one cold practice. And that will be a memory that I'll have probably for the rest of my life. But Cole's a really good kid. I've had him in class, a fantastic young man to have in class. And Cole's going to be successful. I'll pretty much bet on it. We want to congratulate Cole this evening. Thanks, guys. You can have a seat. Next, we'll have our defensive coordinator, who we're really indebted to. We're indebted to all of our coaches. And we're really appreciative of all the efforts of Chris Roschel. He'll introduce some of our underclassmen.
All right, I'm Coach Roschel, and I'll be doing some of the linebacker letter winners for Varsity. So please come to the stage the following: Keenan Sinclair, Cam Morrison, Lucas Bettendorf, Eli Frakes, Max Glenn, and Don Cortez.
Now, before I talk about these 5, with Keenan will be 6 here, I just want to talk about the whole defense as a whole real quick. I know Coach will touch on it as well, but very proud of our defense's effort this year. Their attention to detail, execution, coachability, and their competitive drive was on full display all season. That's one thing, kind of looking back on it, that kind of separates this team from the rest is just how competitive they were in everything they did. And it resulted in the following stats for us defensively. We averaged just over 13 points against this season, which would finish 3rd in 5A football. 88 tackles for loss, 39 sacks, 19 picks, and 17 forced fumbles for our defensive unit. So, and that's a tribute to these gentlemen up here as well as all our seniors. I think offensively and defensively, 20 of our 22 starters were seniors this year. Defensively, 17 on the 2 deep were seniors. So that kind of leads me into talking about these young men and how I'm looking forward to their development, their leadership, seeing all that grow in this off season. Because the seniors have established a very high bar. They've raised this defense. They made it their own, and now I'm excited to see these young men take it and make it their own and build on what's been established. And I'm really looking forward to it. These guys are great kids to coach. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to the off season and seeing what identity our defense is going to have next year. And it's going to be up to these young men to make that identity. So. Thank you for this season. Congratulations, and time to get to work.
How about some more seniors? Thanks, Coach. Next senior, I'd like to come up, Josiah Edson. I guess he wants to demonstrate some of his athletic ability right here in front of us. I really got a lot of respect for Josiah. He's a hard-working, responsible young man. He's one of our players who does not attend Legend High School. Communication's never a problem in either direction with him. He's really responsible, really dependable. He's a strong young man, likes to work out, definitely adds to our weight room culture, and he's a super person, and we're really going to miss him. He kind of epitomizes the young men that we want that are committed to a cause bigger than their own, and that's one of the reasons we're really proud of Josiah. Next, Tobias Harris. Tobias Hire. Tobias is another four-year veteran of our program. He's got a smile on his face at 7 in the morning or at 5:30 in the afternoon, doesn't really matter. He's another young man that helps us a lot in our weight room to establish our culture. That's really the genesis of our program. And he definitely helps us practice. Him and Josiah they got thankless jobs during the course of practice where they work out against our #1 defense pretty much the entire practice, and that's what they do. And they do it without a contention whatsoever, with a positive attitude, and he and those young men in general have really contributed to our program, and that's why we're so proud of Tobias tonight. All right, nice. How about that tall drink of water, Cory Gildner? Cory's one of the best athletes on our team, qualified for the state track meet in multiple events. He'll qualify for even more this year. It just shows his athleticism. Cory's going to be one of these young men that when I see him when he's 21, 22 years old, and he's put on about 40 pounds, and he really looks the part at that time, I'm going to say, why didn't you look like that when you were in high school, big fella? We would hand out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches after workouts. Cory always got 2 or 3 helpings from Coach. And I told him to eat it right in front of me. And we tried to put as much weight on it as we could, and it's one of my failures in my life. But Cory's a great kid. He's very athletic. Can't wait to see him out on the track, jumping over in the high jump and whatnot in the track season. And he's another young man that's got a smile on his face all the time, and a very big contributor to our football program. We wish him nothing but the very best. Alex Lassus. Alex is another solid football player in our senior class, 4 years in our program. Good, responsible kid. Likes to work hard, helps us in the weight room. That, again, that's a quality that I look for in young men that want to come in at 0 hour and work real hard. And Alex is definitely one of those. And then that just translates. Lots of that falls into place. Definitely did on the practice field for us. Alex is a responsible young man, a good student. He's going to do nothing but great things, and we're really looking forward to seeing everything that he accomplishes. Alex Lassus. Next, Noah Armijo. Noah likes to get in the weight room and get after it, and he's going to continue to do that in the future, I'm sure. Noah came to us as a sophomore, had a solid JV season for us. Then as a junior, got hurt literally, I think, before we played a game, and missed out on that year. Then came back with a vengeance. He's a hard worker. He likes to get after things when we don't have him eat burritos or what is it in the morning. Things typically go really well, and that only happened one time. I think that was a lesson that we all learned from Noah, and we appreciate it. What was it again? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was hot wings for breakfast before 7 a.m. summer workout. Let's just say things didn't go so great that morning for Noah. But he's a great kid. He's a good student. I've had him in class. He's a really good kid to have in class. He's a bright young man. He's headed to Doane College in Nebraska. He'll do very well there. We're anxious to see what transpires for him in the future, because it'll be real positive. No Armijo. Next we'll have Coach Farley.
Hello again. I want to start by first bringing up our ball boy. One of the many, but he's related to me. Bam Bam, come on up, please. No. No. What I want to say is that, and the reason I brought him up here is, everybody has talked about this is a family, and I am so dang lucky that, one, my wife allows me to be away from our family as much as I am. She says, it's your passion, go do it. So I just want to thank my wife first and foremost. So give Mrs. Farley a round of applause. And then having my younger two boys, Ryan and Matthew, being ball boys, along with Jake and Sam and Maddox's brother. It truly is a family. I'm old, okay, so forgive me for that memory. But it's true. It truly is. And then this year was even more special. My oldest, Nicholas, freshman team, and then he also, like Nate, and he could long snap, so that's a benefit. And just to be on the field with him and enjoy that, it is something I will never forget. So boys and Mrs. Farley, thank you so much for allowing me to do what I do. If I could, please, could I have Julian Castro, Wyatt Bristow, Cruz Garcia, and Ashton McKinley please come up. So before I get started, the O-line, which I'm so honored to have two helpers this year, Coach Weisberg and Coach White, just take this group. They need it, and you can tell by these characters. Wait till the others get up and have gotten up. It is a unique group. They do not get any of the recognition except when things go bad. Right, Rudy? Just kidding, Rudy. But what I would say is that it's a group that we are one huge family. Yes, I have three boys, but I feel like I counted at my house that came over for our annual lineman dinner, there was like 22 of them. So I feel like I have 25 kids, and I love every minute of it. With us graduating 4 of our starting 5, these 4 young men need to play for us next year. My expectation is that you get in the weight room, that you are grinding every single day. You have huge shoes to fill, but I know that we can do it. You've been around. I know that you've all have played in a ton of games. You have some experience, but I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to coach you hard, but also love you up. And I just can't wait to get started. And I know that we're wrestling. There's my cue, Danny. That's the cue to get off the stage. I figured it out. So I just want to say thank you guys. And I look forward to a great off season and can't wait till next year.
We'll get to introducing some more of our seniors here in just a minute, but I want to just provide some information to our community about a couple of things. I realize that unbeknownst to me that this afternoon the Chatham All-State teams came out, and I know there's some ruffled feelings in our family regarding that. And I'll send Evan the email that I sent Chatham before I came here this afternoon, voicing my concerns about how that team is put together and the lack of respect that was directed to the Legend Titan football team so that everybody can see it. And one thing I just want to say is that for our all-league, for our all-state teams, I, as a head coach, have the pleasure of nominating players. We have lots of them that are super qualified for all of those teams, and then I have a vote, and coaches across our league and across the state for the all-state team, they have their own votes, and I'm not smart enough to influence too many people. So I just have to rely on the good deeds of our young men, and there are many of those. I just want to address that to all of our parents and our concerns that have been directed towards me regarding that. One of the adages that we try to teach our kids is control what you can control. We can control that we're 27-6 in the last 3 years. We've been in the Sweet 16 and the semifinals twice, and that cannot be disputed. That's fact. And one of the reasons that we get there, besides the great support we get from our boosters and our football community, is a really dedicated group of football coaches. And what we've been able to do over the last 6 years at Legend is develop a football staff that I believe is second to none. Does an outstanding job. Their accomplishments are many, and I'm really indebted to these guys right here. They do a fantastic job. Now, the All-State game's a little bit different. That's chosen by our Coaches Association. One of the benefits of being around since 1995 is that I'm kind of a big wheel in the Coaches Association. And we're the only school representing the South team in the All-State game that has 3 players on it. We're damn proud of that. Back to some of our seniors. Let's get Clay Smith up here. Clay's a 4-year vet in our program. He's an athletic young man. Plays defensive back. We played him at both free safety and corner, although he probably played more corner this year. He's the 3rd brother through Legend, so we're pretty familiar with the Smith name here, and I got to coach his older brother as well. Clay's a sharp young man. You heard his GPA. I don't know how you get above a 4-point GPA. I just got a Montana public high school education. And where I come from, it doesn't go above a 4-point. But so obviously he's super smart. He's athletic. He's a really good kid. And he'll represent us well as a Legend alumni going through life. We're proud of him. Clay Smith. Next, Sam Pope, the Donut Man. Okay, now Sam sometimes has a propensity to come late to 0 hour. Okay, and that doesn't always work out well. But when you bring Coach a Bavarian cream donut and a small coffee, things smooth out fairly quick. That doesn't do a great deal for my waistline, but Sam has really changed his body in the last couple of years, despite working at the donut shop. You know, that's not easy to do, so that shows a commitment and a work ethic, that I definitely want to recognize. Sam's an athletic guy, got more athletic as he got in better shape, kind of streamlined his body, and we wish him nothing but the best. He's super part of our football program, and we're proud of him, Sam Pope. Next, let's get one of the Red Angus boys up here, Ethan Bolden. Being from Montana, I identify with the country folk here, so the Boldens and we got some things in common. Ethan was our social distance cop at practice the last 2 years. I put him in charge of that. Sometimes that came with repercussions. These Bolden guys they're good kids. They work hard. They know when to have a little fun, and they know when to zip it real fast. They've been nothing but a pleasure to have. And we got a future caliber right here in front of us, Ethan Bolden. How about Pierce Kirshner? One of the best things I can say about Pierce is that his sister attends the six-time national champions NAIA football team at Carroll College, Helena, Montana. How about that? Now, with the exception of me, you got to be pretty darn smart getting into Carroll College, so I can recognize that. But Pierce really stepped up for us as a senior. You know, those things have to happen if you're going to have a team that achieves at the level that our teams have been achieving at. You need young men that, some of them you've met already, you'll meet some more later on tonight. We need young men that step up as seniors and play a much bigger role in our program than they had any other year. Pierce is a lacrosse player. He didn't play football as a sophomore. I think Coach D roped him into it. We're certainly happy that he did. Pierce is an athletic young man who can, I'll never forget the pick he made right in front of me to end the Pine Creek game. How about that? Again, I want a lot of our younger players to identify with some of these young men like Pierce, who stepped up and played a real big role as a senior and made himself into a starter on a league championship football team, Pierce Kirshner. We're going to ditto this again. Let's get Malik Wind up here. Malik's a physical football player that played on special teams for us as a junior. Solid player in our JV program. Worked real hard. Changed his body. Became a little more aerodynamic as a senior. Explosive. You know, you play fullback for us, it's kind of an unsung position. You're blocking about 90% of the time. We may hand you the ball, throw it to you on a little bootleg, something like that. But your job is to put defensive ends and linebackers on their backs. And Malik could do that very well. And he could run the ball real well, too, when we give it to him. We just don't give the ball to our fullback all that much. He's headed to Hamlin in Minnesota. Now, I'm somewhat familiar with that. You got to be kind of a real good student to get in there. Malik's obviously a good student. We wish him all the best in Minnesota. He'll do very well there. Malik Wind. You know, as my coaching career continues to advance, this was my 35th year coaching high school football. One of the pleasures that I have is bringing young people into the profession that work really well with young people, with high school kids that have a future in education and in coaching. Here's one of them I'm real proud of, Matt Wilson.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. As Coach said, my name is Matt Wilson. I had the pleasure of coaching the defensive backs this year. So without further ado, if I could get Ethan McCormick, Max Werdeman, JD Noonschwander, and Physics Fun Facts, Nick Muniz up to the stage, please. So I had the pleasure of coaching not only the varsity defensive backs, but these defensive backs as well, and some of them rotating on varsity and getting a lot of experience. I just want to thank them for all of their hard work through the season. It's an absolutely endless job going out there every single day, doing some of the same drills, working hard, and really doing a difficult job of running the scout team a lot of the time. We have a very talented varsity wide receiver group, and these guys are really the ones in charge of going out there every single day and trying to match up with them, and I know that's not an easy task. Being thrown into defenses which are sometimes new, and just endlessly working hard and pushing themselves to the very best. They come out with just an endless energy, enthusiasm, and just kind of a love for the game that it really refreshes me and keeps me motivated. And so I just have nothing but all the thanks in the world with these guys. We had a very talented defensive backs group this year, so they have big shoes to fill going into next year, and I have absolutely no doubt that they'll be able to do that.
So I've already talked to a lot of our underclassmen, but one of the neat things about high school football is that, you know, senior classes always graduate, but the tradition that they establish doesn't. It stays right here. And we all feel a real sense of responsibility to carry on this golden age of Legend Titan football that we're right in the midst of. And that really starts in earnest on January 3rd when we come back to school. And the genesis of all of that is zero period. So if you're sitting out there in the stands or in the theater here and you have aspirations of having a significant role on our football team, you need to do about everything you can to get yourself into 0 hour. You need to talk to your parents, especially about transportation for some of our youngest, and I understand it's a commitment. But I'm there every day, and a lot of our players will be. And everything building for 2022 will all originate out of 0 hour. So we're going to try to include everybody in it. We're opening our hands and welcoming you. That's a lot easier said than done because it's going to be real dark and real cold throughout much of January and February, but I think this senior class has showed us that if you're willing to invest the time and make the sacrifices, almost anything is possible. Some more of our seniors. Ryan Ilagoria. My entire life I've been phonetically challenged. So lots of our young men, I make up nicknames for them, or I never say their last name like Ryan's because I butcher it all the time. But Ryan's a very fine athlete. Ryan can run. Ryan's strong. He's a 2-year starter on our football team. And he's a young man that faced some adversity at the very beginning of our pandemic. Super proud of the way that he handled that. It's not an easy situation. But he's a physical young man. He tries almost daily to get underneath my skin, and he's successful oftentimes. But you know, I really enjoy Ryan because he's got a smile on his face almost all the time. He's one of the few guys that will come out to Mobile 9 during the school day just to see me, and he knows he'll get yelled at when he does it, but he does it anyway. So I'm appreciative of Ryan, and I'm going to miss his personality. We're going to miss his athletic ability. We're going to do our very best to hold up our end of the bargain of what he's contributed to our program and all of his teammates. We're really proud of Ryan. Next, Josh Dane. All right, so Josh is one of our young men that does not attend school here, and every time I read the name Josh Dane, I think of his freshman year when he'd come running over the hill, running down, carrying his bag. Because the freshmen are already starting practice, his mom or dad or somebody was dropping him off, and he was running over the baseball field to get to practice. Now that's a young man that wants to play football. Okay? He runs down the hill, carrying his equipment, because he wants to get to practice. And that really just testifies to what type of young man that he is. He started a number of games for us as a junior after Rudy broke his ankle. It's really solidified our offensive line this year as a senior. And he does it with barely saying a word, just leading by example. Really very dependable young man. And he'll achieve at a high level as he goes on to the next facet of his life. And the great thing is we got his brother coming up in our program, so hopefully we'll see a lot of Josh because we like seeing him, we like having him around. Josh Dane. All right, maybe the best athlete on the team, Carter Hilfridge. Carter's sneaky strong. He's in the top 10 of our team in the power clean, and he didn't really look like it. He's fast, he can jump, he can throw, he can hit a golf ball, he can hit a baseball. We all know he can punt. And as I said, I think he's one of the very best athletes on our team. And he's really a selfless young man. You know, he wanted to play wide receiver. Really the turning point in our season is when we moved him back to tight end. We took off. I think we won for 2.5 straight months after we did that. And he's a young man that has athletic potential. He can go on and do more things athletically, especially if he applies himself, because he's one of the very best athletes on our team, and he's a guy that I enjoy getting on a little bit because he'll just give it right back, and I appreciate that in him. We think a lot of him, Carter Hilfridge. Now here's a guy our young people in the audience, they need to take a strong look at. They need to follow him. Try to think back to what he's done in their presence before, because he's a role model of what we want our young men to be, Logan Brager. Now Logan will just come sprinting into zero period, just trying to get there as soon as he can after some commitments that he has in the morning. And he was part of the crew that lifted down there in the far corner by the back door. They really set the culture for our program. They're hard workers. We need a lot of guys working like them, and Logan specifically. And we'll be able to follow up these past few seasons that we have if we get a large contingent of our players that will follow the role modeling that he's done for at least the last 2 years. Okay, he's a rugged football player, rugby player. He's played super for us in the playoffs. I was really impressed by his play, especially in the Air Force or in the playoffs. And he's headed off to Air Force. We hope he'll be a fantastic Air Force officer, and he'll be someone that the whole bunch of people will be looking up to here in the coming years. Logan Breaker. All right, I think I saw him come in from a basketball game. Grant Littlehorn, come on up here, buddy. Is he not? Is he? There he is. Okay. So I started all this high school coaching in 1987, and it wasn't when I was 15. And you can count on one hand the number of families where I've coached 3 brothers. I'm from a family of 4 brothers. Thank goodness we have 2 sisters that raised boats for all of us. But Grant is going to be one of those families where I coached all 3 of them. And they may not think it's such a highlight as I do. But obviously Grant's a 2-sport athlete, just coming off of a basketball game, and for years now, I think 3 of them. Right about this time of year, the guys in his class would say, "Hey coach, we're going to get Grant to come out for football next year." And I said, "Who's that skinny kid out there in the basketball court?" And they go, "Yeah, I'm telling you, Grant's a good athlete. Grant will be good in football." I said, "Boy, he's skinny, man." And he did come out this year. All of his teammates were right. He's a talented athlete. He really contributed to our team. He can run and he can catch. And like a lot of our guys, he's got a smile on his face. He's from a good family. He'll do what you tell him to do. And I think maybe he's a bit intimidated by me because, you don't meet a lot of people like me in your life. And first year or so, you just kind of trying to figure things out. Maybe Grant's starting to get things figured out because now he'll verbally respond to me. And we're really appreciative of him. He's a really good kid. We wish him nothing but the best in basketball season and moving forward. And we are super fortunate that he came out and played with us this year. We're very appreciative of Grant Littlehorn. Thanks, fellas. So this fall I got some big news. I kind of had anticipated it during the summer and mentioned it to our guys during the summer, but in April, Coach Thielen become a grandfather. How about that? I know a lot of our players are just saying, oh, they just feel so sorry for this newborn. But one thing that's kind of cool is we got these young coaches. I'm probably old enough to be their fathers, and they're having babies. We got babies all over the place on our coaching staff. And Danny and Katie are going to have another one in March. And so we'll be able to I'll be able to kind of guide through, I guess they're going to have a little baby boy that they're going to name Brady. I told them Monty Thomas worked really well for me for a hell of a long time. So they didn't take me up on it, but I'm really, where we are at Legend High, we're really thankful for Coach D. He does so many things for our program, and the kids are just attracted to him like bees to honey, and that says a lot about him, and I hate to think, where we would be if he didn't come into our lives, and as all of our coaches. So we're really appreciative of Coach Danny Pietro.
I can't see it, that's fine. All right, can I get Sam Axelrod, Grayson Hardy, Johnny Brookhart, and if Brian made it in, I'm not sure if he did, Brian Doyle up here. Give it up. Clap for him. So real quick before I start, I want to take just a quick minute and thank all of the seniors. Okay? This group has just a really special place in my heart. This staff's been together pretty much since you guys were freshman, sophomore, and we just kind of watched you guys grow. And even though I want to throat slam you sometimes, Jackson Brush, I truly do love you guys, and I hope you know that. Okay, and I hope I make that seen and shown every single day that I care about you. Okay, and I care about what you're going to do in life, and I know you're going to really be successful. And Coach Thielman's doing an amazing job kind of depicting that, but I just want you guys to know that and hear from me. These two individuals and four that I'm going to talk about have gigantic shoes to fill. Okay? And I know that they're going to do a good job. Johnny Brookhart's like having a coach on the field. Okay? Grayson's one of the hardest workers I know, and he's physical. Sam Axelrod is going to be a game changer, and Brian Doyle is going to end up dominating varsity games like he did JV. All of these individuals are hard workers. All of these individuals are determined. And what I challenge you guys to do is continue to put in the work. Lead the way that these seniors led, and you'll continue to see and foster all that Legends put in for the past few years. Guys, I'm proud of you. I love coaching you. Johnny, coaching quarterbacks over summer. Grayson going back to wide receivers in the fall. And I truly care about you guys, and I love you. Give it up for these gentlemen.
So I guess I got a little bit out of order calling up our coaches. That happens fairly regularly for me. So we're going to have Coach Weisberg come up, introduce some of our underclass linemen. Really enjoyed having Josh be a part of our program. You know, for years I coached against Josh. And now having him with us, I realize what a fantastic guy he is. And he's really had a big impact on our program. We're super fortunate to have him working with our young men, Josh Weisberg.
I'm Coach Weisberg, and I work with the offensive line and the tight ends. And I want to thank Coach Thielen because these last 3 years that I've been here have been some of the most fun and enjoyable years that I've had coaching. And I'm pretty thankful that I get to come out here every day to work with these young men. They're pretty special to me, and it's been a lot of fun, and it will continue to be a lot of fun. The players that I would like to bring up right now: Arden Mann, Jack Morgan, Logan White, Noah Archuleta, Nick Farley, and Caden Smith.
Let's go!
This is a pretty special group of young men, and I say this because up here, these guys embody a lot of what coaches look for in their athletes. Each one of these guys has the talent to play. They all have a tremendous work ethic. They show up every day. They work hard every day. almost annoyingly so, they bug you for reps. And in the middle of practice, it's a little tedious, but you appreciate the fact that they want to be here and they want to get better. They're all very eager to learn. You see them just soaking up football every single day at practice and wanting the next tidbit, the next technique, and wanting to get better every single day. They're all very intelligent. These guys are asked to do many things up front. We ask them to play multiple positions. Each one of them has played multiple positions: offensive line, tight end, center, guard. And each one of those positions changes communications, changes techniques, and they did it unbelievably seamlessly all year long. And the learning that they showed and their willingness to learn was awesome and made coaching a whole lot easier and more enjoyable. And I think most importantly, they're all very unselfish. They are team-first guys. They're willing to do whatever coaches ask of them, and they do it because they want the team to succeed. And you can't ask for anything more from a group of young men. We have 33 seniors tonight that we're celebrating, and that group of seniors have left a tremendous legacy and created a new standard for what legend football is. And it's my challenge to you guys is to take that mantle and move it forward and make it better and move the bar. Become leaders in this program. Be committed to getting bigger, stronger, and faster in the weight room. Bring the younger guys along like the seniors did with you. Show them how to work in the weight room, and be committed to getting better every day like you were all season. And legend football has a bright future with these young men. So I wanted to thank you all very much. Thank you.
I appreciate everybody's patience. I know I'm like a nightmare, just keep recurring, showing up in front of you. But got a lot of people introducing, a lot of young men we think highly of. Next young man we'd like up here, Jason Anderson. We'd like our young players to really think long and hard about everything they saw Jason doing over the course of the last 4 years. He's a hard worker. He's a selfless young man. He knows our defense inside and out, so he's super intelligent as well. And he's part of that crew that worked out over there in that corner. That they just came in every day and busted it really hard. They got much stronger over the course from their junior year to their senior year. And great role model for our young players. Somebody we really think highly of, Jason Anderson. Another one of the Red Angus boys, Caleb Bolden. Caleb's got that country work ethic now. He'll come in, he'll work real hard, he'll compete with his teammates. They made each other much better, and they really set the tone for us. I'm indebted to Caleb and everything that he did to create the culture that we want to sustain as well. And like a lot of guys I grew up with in Montana, he gets his hands on you. You know, these guys live out in the country and work with cattle and horses and stuff. Their hands are so strong. Who can forget him grabbing that Pine Creek quarterback by the jersey and just not letting go? And looked like a cartoon. The guy was running his feet real hard. He wasn't going anywhere. And eventually, Caleb just worked him to the ground. He plays really fast. And when he hits you, you hit the ground. And watching him come free on the stunts, the last 2 years, and when you're watching the film, you just see Coach Rochholt's head bobbing up and down on the sideline because he knew what was coming, and it was going to be a big hit on the guy carrying the ball. Now, Caleb can't catch a cold, okay? But when he gets his hands on you, you're going down to the ground, and we need a whole bunch of guys like Caleb Bolden on our program. Congratulations. A literal wordsmith now. Such a change. Levi Smith. Okay, Levi for 2 years was completely nonverbal. You'd ask him questions and he'd nod his head, he'd give you a facial expression, or his brother would answer for him. And he's a quiet guy, and now we can't get him to shut up. Now, Levi's an accomplished wrestler that's definitely had an impact on his football career, there's no doubt about it. You know, we're looking forward to Eli qualifying for the state wrestling meet for the 3rd consecutive year. That's no small feat whatsoever. And the discipline and the competitiveness that young people like Levi gain in wrestling is invaluable in their maturation as athletes and as young men, and that's been critical to Levi. Levi's been a 2-year starter for us at offensive guard, physical guy. You know, he'll come off the ball with low pads and he'll get after it, and now he'll tell you about it when he's done. And evidently Ponderosa got a mouthful of them earlier this year. Levi Smith. All right, Brecken Reeser. Brecken's strong, fast, you know, caught I think 8, maybe 9 touchdowns this year. And he matured during the football season. But, you know, there's no debating it. Brecken was a handful. And there were multiple times during the course of last winter that I would tell Coach D, you know, I'm just about this far away with Brecken. And we had multiple one-way conversations. And I guess after months, maybe some of those words penetrated. And but he matured during the season. He had a big year for us. You know, we don't go to the semifinals without Brecken in the lineup. And we're going to wish him well. And again, my experience with Brecken teaches all of us that it's, you know, it's the process of growing and maturing as young men. That's what one of the great benefits of high school football are. And we're proud that it finally worked with him, and we're appreciative of his efforts. Thanks, Brecken. All right, here's a success story. Zach Runyon. Come on now, chicken legs. So it was the end of last year, but maybe during the playoff run when we're in shells almost every day, so the kids are in shorts, and I finally realized this young man's got the skinniest legs on our team. And his body was pretty darn skinny as well. But he could run, he was physical, he was a good athlete. And he was just turning like, I don't know, 15 years old or something, so we knew he was going to start filling out finally. And he was part of that crew that worked out back there in the corner. They didn't say a lot, but their actions really demonstrated a great deal. And did anybody burst on the scene, Legend Titan football, like Zach Runyon did in 2021? Tackles for loss, sacks, finally got him to work against a screen. He figured that out after a while. And just a pleasure, man. Yet another guy just playing for the love of the game and friendship that he had with his teammates. He's always got a smile on his face. I tell you, his best athletic days are way in front of him. And he's got a future for sure. And we really hope that he takes advantage of it. Man, did he have a big senior season, Zach Runyon. These guys even sit down. So, you know, everybody knows of me like, you know, this guy from Montana, which is true. But I was born at the KU Medical Center. My dad's a Jayhawk. We're a Jayhawk family through and through now. I'm going to tell you that by way of Helena, Montana. And it's great to have some KU guys on our staff, particularly one of them who texts me during KU basketball games, and we're just stomping teams and having a good time viewing it. Makes me think of my old Kansan home. I think he's by way of Wichita. We're super fortunate to have him working with our kids. Coach Doug Johnston.
All right, guys. If I could have Nate Sandy, Maddox Stahl, Alex Martinez, and Jeff Baca come on up. Yeah, while they're making their way up, I know we've thanked a lot of people tonight. I too just wanted to say thank you to all of our parents, to our booster club, to this coaching staff, to our families, our wives, our kids, that everybody sacrificed so stinking much to allow us to be a part of this and to really have the time of our lives doing it. So thank you to everybody who's committed to this program. We appreciate you all. Had the privilege of coaching the running backs, and it was an interesting group this year. We had 2 seniors and 4 sophomores, and anytime you get 4 sophomore running backs together, you never know quite what's going to happen. And I didn't with this group. It was an adventure every single day, but man, they were a ton of fun. They were all very flexible. They came in, they worked hard, did what we asked them to do, kept their nose down, and just worked. And you know, we've got a bit of a tradition going with successful running backs here at Legend High School. I've got no doubt that these young men are going to step right up and fill those shoes, and I'm really proud of them. I'm excited to see how they develop, not only as football players, but in the classroom as sons and brothers and young men. So thank you guys, it was a ton of fun, and I'm ready to get to work. Thank you.
So Coach Weisberg, you recognize that name, Chad Alfonso, right? Right, Coach? So I got another one for you. Craig Chenoweth. Craig Chenoweth, Sunset High School, Beaverton, Oregon, I believe it was 1992. And he tells me at the end of the school year, it's the last assistant job that I had. I was the defensive coordinator then, and he says, Coach, I'm not going to be around for summer workouts. I'm going to Bend to build a garage on my grandpa's cabin with my uncle. I said, Craig, you're a tall drink of water like Zach Runyon. What do you mean you're not going to be around for summer workouts? I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to play if that's the case. He says, oh no, Coach, you don't understand. We got a weight room in my grandpa's basement. I'm going to work out every day with my uncle. And that's like hearing, I'm going to go to Vail for the summer, and I'm going to work really hard. That's what Bend, Oregon's like. So I was extremely skeptical. I'll tell you what, Craig Chenoweth came back, and he had a monster year. He was an all-league linebacker, and that takes me to Nate Smith. Come on up, buddy. And the best thing we can say about Nate is he got a haircut for the banquet. diversion to the weight room. And it tries my patience, for sure. But I'll tell you what, he came out, he had a fantastic senior year. You know, free safety's kind of a glorified position on our defense, and I think for 2 years running now, our free safety's led 5A in interceptions. Here's the guy that did it this year. And he's, you know, as he gets older, it starts to fill out a little bit. He's getting quite a bit faster. Now there's a whole bunch more filling out that needs to happen. But he's got a future in football if he decides, you know, to take advantage of that. And again, to have this kind of season that we had, you got to have seniors, players burst onto the scene and have seasons that maybe even you as the coach didn't envision them having. And here's the guy that did it right here, Nate Smith. All right, here's a young man that I'm going to say good things about him despite the fact that he has not turned in his football equipment. Jackson Brush. Jackson's been a 2-year starter. He's an impact player in our program. You know, he's got great body control. You can tell that, you know, there's that's close enough, fellas. That there's gymnastics in his family background because his body control is really good. His hands are really good. He can catch the football in a number of different positions, and he's competitive. I would always talk to Jackson about, you know, how competitive do you want to be? He would respond, Coach, I want to be really competitive. I want to really get after it. I said, well, you know, you're going to have a chance this week, or you're going to have a chance. You know, what is it that you want to do? He just wanted to be competitive. And then I posed to him. You remember this? Yeah. I said, I think this year you're going to obviously catch a touchdown pass. You're going to run for one. You're going to throw one. And you're going to return a kick for one. How about that? And I think maybe he did all of those but run one from scrimmage. But I tell you, versatile football player, Jackson Brush. Big year for us. Dominant in the big games. I tell you, there's not a lot more you can say about someone than being dominant in the big games. That was Jackson Brush. All right, now fellas, Sam Pope. Yep, answer something for me, Sam. What's got more sugar than a box of Fruit Loops? Bryce Voss. Now, Bryce Voss. Come on up, Bryce. Now, I'll tell you what, early in 0 hour, I don't typically wear sunglasses in there, so I'd wake up real fast when I'd see Bryce in the attire he'd be in early in the morning. I really don't think there's any bigger talent in our program than Bryce Voss. Bryce got speed, he's got quickness, he's got strength. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can throw it. He's a humble young man. I think that's really important. When you get right down to it, Bryce is a humble guy. He thinks of his teammates. That's why his teammates think of him. And how about this for a senior year? 1,700 yards rushing, 26 touchdowns, and centerpiece of our offense. I'm going to have to be a fan now of the UNC Bears. We got 2 of them there. Probably more to come, but how about a senior year like this, Bryce Voss? All right, here's a guy that I've been working with or opening up the gym so he could work out with a quarterback's coach. Since he was a skinny little kid, I met him through his brother. He ended up having a huge year for us, Colton Warner. Colton's one of the rarities that's a team captain that had never started before till his senior year. And that doesn't happen very often in my coaching career. But like Jackson, like Bryce, Colton put up player of the year type of stats for us this year. 2,400 yards passing, 25 touchdowns. Really learned that hard work makes you respected by your teammates. He would struggle at the end of workouts when I would count his clapping push-ups at the end. He didn't know why I was making him always do that, putting him in the spotlight. I wanted him to earn his teammates' respect, and that's one way that you do it. And he did it in a really big way. And he had a huge senior year for us now. Colton Warner. All right, Rudy Gish, come on, Rudy. Okay, Rudy Gish, he got the worst mullet in the school. And he just regals in it, just regals in it. And he's always got a smile on his face. Rudy's one of the best kids to have in class that I've had here at Legend. And he's a hard-working young man. Likes to perform in the classroom, likes to perform in the weight room. Definitely performs out on the football field. He helped us set the culture in our weight room that's just vital. It's one of the things we're going to be establishing on January 3rd. And it certainly did so on the field as well. And for all of his efforts, been an all-league performer as a junior, all-league performer as a senior, and he'll join Jackson Brush and Luke Sandy in the Colorado Coaches Association All-State game in CSU Pueblo. I believe it's June 6th, isn't it, Rudy? 10th? Okay. And we'll be happy to be there and cheer him on. And we wish him the very best. He's got a future in football, but he's got a future in life because he gets along with people. He can communicate with others real well, and he's got a lot going for him. Rudy Gish. That's it, folks. Jackson, you know you got a fish tied around your neck, buddy? Okay. That's correct. Tell you what, it's a different world out there now. It's a different world out there. All right, here's somebody that all of our players should emulate. He's a role model for us. He's a gentleman that lives by his convictions, super family man, really good teacher, works with kids after school from August until February, nonstop. A lot of us should take a lot of thought in trying to be as much like him as possible. Coach Devin, come on up, Coach Aldridge.
Being the defensive line coach, I'm going to call up PJ Staub, Billy McGuckin, Jamar Yancey, and Gavin Taylor. As I coach these guys, I continually reminded that we got some weird dudes, but I love them to death. And I had some thoughts written down for each and every one of them, but I'm going to try and keep it short because I know it's getting late. But I'm incredibly proud of the guys that I've coached, and for my seniors that are leaving, again, We've got some big shoes to fill. Very briefly, just a couple things. As a whole defense, or as a whole defensive line, on the year, our defensive line alone had 193 tackles. And that's something to say. And with our defense, the defensive line getting tackles, that's why we do what we do. And so I'm very impressed with them. I don't know if there's much of a harder worker on the field and in the D-line area than PJ Stott. He works hard, he does what he's asked, doesn't complain, and does it with ease. I've asked him continually during JV games to do different things, and he did every single one of them. Dealing with some adversity and going through, and he did exactly that. Gavin, having a big junior year again on varsity, did some great things for us. 45 of those 193 tackles were made by him. Jamar Yancey, oh, and sorry, Gavin, I meant to say this, I wanted to say this. Gavin cannot eat chicken wings without getting sauce on his face. All over his face. Jamar Yancey, the man of 1,000 names. Jamar steps up in a big way and fills in big shoes at nose guard when we need him, and he did great this year. Billy, I just wanted to tell a very quick story about Billy. This year, if you guys know Billy and his demeanor, it's just a little different than others, and a referee came up to me during a JV game and said, "Coach, I think you got to take this player out." I said, "Why?" He goes, "He doesn't seem coherent." So I said, "Sir, that's just his demeanor." And you look at Billy, and he puts on this tough guy act, but he's a nice kid. And I love each and every one of these boys to death. I will fight for them. I hope you guys would do the same for me. But again, next year, I'm looking forward to the future that we have in this D-line. You're looking at the future of the defensive line at Legend High School. And thank you guys. Let's go get it next year.
Coaches, if you could come up to our table, we'll go right into our team awards after our last three seniors. I appreciate everybody's patience with us. Next up for us, Alex Trujillo. I'm super proud of Alex. He's another guy that came on as a senior and had a fantastic year. We're certainly proud of his achievements on the field and during the season. But what I'm most proud about Alex is he was a transformative leader in our program. No one works harder in our weight room than Alex. And his crew over there in the corner just busted it every day. Alex was one of the ringleaders of that. But Alex took it a step beyond that. Alex came to our after-school workouts and tried to lead our younger players with great positive energy, just being a super role model. That had the biggest impact of what Alex did. No one asked him, he did it. He really came on as a young man, and he was great on the field for us. He can run, you know, he's a physical young man. We got him quit thinking about that whole receiver thing and come over, be physical, hit people, run around the football field. He had a great senior year for us, but, you know, I'm really proud of the leader that Alex became, and, you know, that's going to carry on throughout the rest of his life. Alex is going to be a leader now for decades, and that first came out at Legend Titan football, and we're sure happy that it did. All right, here's my guy, Melo Castro. work hard. You just watch what Mello does. I'll never forget after his freshman year, the skinny little kid. Last time we went to a football camp, we went to northern Colorado. Cam Smith was one of the leaders of our team, and we had just gotten done on a hot day scrimmaging, and we were bringing the kids together to talk about going to lunch or what was going on next. And there was this skinny little kid running laps on the football field, and Cam came over to me and said, "Now, Coach, I don't want to tell you what to do, but that kid right over there, we need to get him on the defense." And he impressed Cam like that, and he pressed the rest of us in very short order. Two-time team captain, two-time all-league player. He's had a huge impact on our program. I love and respect Mello Castro. Our next biggest impact, if anybody, my 6 years at Legend High, is Luke Sandy. Epitome of a student athlete. He's a serious student. He's a 4-year starter on the football team. He's the only 3-year captain I've ever coached. He's placed at the state wrestling tournament twice. He's number 2 in the state right now. He's did not get a chance to compete in the state track meet as a sophomore. He placed in the discus last year. He will do so probably again this year, probably in the shot put. So that's a 3-sport athlete. They're almost unheard of in high school now. But Luke is a dominant football player. And there's no doubt about it. Plays with an edge to him. And he's super competitive. He's got that big cheesy grin right now, but on the football field, he's dead serious. And how about this right here? Co-offensive player of the year in our league as a junior. And I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but everybody knows it. Co-defensive player of the year in our league as a senior. Okay, that's virtually unheard of. And very big shoes to fill. We got to work real hard to replace Luke Sandy. All right, coaches, let's hand out some. I really appreciate you. We got a lot of all-league accolades to hand out. We got some team awards, and I appreciate all your patience. We'll get right to them.
Like always, at Legend, we adapt and respond. Coach asked us to do a little toast. It's our Coach Pietro and I's annual toast.
Delta, Delta, say it.
Gesundheit. To the 2021 season.
To spring workouts.
To running at Tallman.
To summer practice at Cimarron.
To turning off the water.
The track will be done soon.
To the Hog Olympics champions.
To lifting at Legend and holes in the floor.
To the track will be done soon.
To finally being back on the blue turf.
Stay off the track.
To summer workouts and scrimmages.
To that poor kid's chair.
To our boosters.
To our parent volunteers.
To our managers. To pretzels, swear jars, and cured meats.
To thank you for your time.
To our trainers.
And always, Chaz Alfonso.
To all our coaches, especially Coach Thielen, and that one time he texted me, "You up?"
Thank you.
To what should be an undefeated JV team. Thanks, Josh.
To game days.
To pregame meals. I'll bet you $1.
To the D.
And pregame golf.
To our whole production.
To pregame hype videos.
To sideline TVs.
To Bam Bam in the golf cart.
To the trailer.
To heated sidelines.
To the generators.
To inhaling the exhaust.
Cole.
To Rudy's pregame puke performance.
To the Thunder Ridge scrimmage.
Oh wait.
To the FMS Foundation.
To headsets, players wearing them, and calling the president.
To Ponderosa.
42-0. Man, all those reps did make it easier.
To being the 9 News Game of the Week.
To my bots.
To Mull.
Next.
To Smoky Hill.
35-8.
To Mountain Vista.
34-7.
To Westminster.
42-8.
To Pine Creek.
26-23.
To Regis.
42-41. Thank God for block kicks.
To making sure not to ask Regis how anything tastes.
To Pullman.
To Douglas County.
49-7 and seeing red.
To Doherty.
49-7.
To fourth quarter hot dogs.
And McDonald's.
To Chaparral.
45-14.
To Rock Canyon.
28-14.
To Arapahoe.
35-14.
To Cherry Creek.
We'll be back.
Again. Saturday morning coaches meetings.
To Coach Brenning's and Coach Thielen's mobile.
To a little bit of chicken fry.
Cold beer on Friday night.
To Friday nights.
To having the Pride of Parker trophy in our house again.
To lineman dinners.
To cheesy potatoes.
To a multiple beverage fine.
As always, to floaters.
To sinkers.
To scrambling to order more helmets.
To painting those helmets.
To just equipment in general.
To my Maria.
To Ni Hao Ma.
To golf carts.
To a bigger trailer.
To needing a bigger truck for the trailer.
To the bus.
To playing your best in November and December.
To Yogi, humbling me.
To Twitter posts.
To Sunday night meetings.
To needing healthier snacks next year.
To the mice.
To plugging everything into one power strip.
To Coach White troubleshooting.
To Hilltop.
To practicing on Thanksgiving.
To siblings.
To the parents.
To the coaches.
To being a grandpa.
To the South League Coach of the Year, Monty Thielen. Again.
Continental League. Metro South League champions.
To the great players.
to being a Titan forever. Thank you.
I'd like to now bring up Coach Brookhart. He'd like to give his reflection on the season from the offensive side and then announce some awards as well. Coach Brookhart.
Just to get started, my wife back here, Jamie, I just want to thank you, not just for all you do, for giving us the chance to come back and do this again and stay involved in coaching, and with your commitment to supporting me doing that, and all the effort you put into the program. I do appreciate that. It's really awesome to see what's happened in the last few years, and the commitment level of a program that's changed dramatically, and because of the coaches and the players, the booster club, the parents that get involved, and you know, it's not easy to do what we've done. To put ourselves in the top 2 straight years in a row, kind of out of nowhere, and it takes a lot of people. From my standpoint on the offense, I'd just like to thank Coach Thalen for the opportunity to do this, but it's pretty awesome to watch what this staff has done, and the commitment level and the knowledge base that they've gotten to. It's really operated like not even a small college, probably somewhere in a mid-major type role. And so you guys as players have soaked it up, committed to it at a different level than they ever have, and the success shows. So we've been just thrilled to be a part of it as a family. And this year was really a pretty special year, because I think we had a lot of question marks as to what we were going to be. We went through some struggles early with the Mullen game that didn't go as you'd hoped, and we become so highly expectant of winning that it was a real blow to this program. And we made some changes, and we didn't know where everybody needed to be. It was a bunch of new guys in there and trying to make things happen. And I give a lot of credit to you guys to respond the way you did. And offensively this year, it was another good year. I think we were second in the state in scoring. And we had to evolve. It was really, really interesting how we evolved as an offense from game to game. And real credit to all of you. And so I've been slated to give out a few awards. So I'd like to bring up Jackson Brush, Bryce Voss, and Colton Moore, please. I'm sitting here with a number of different awards. I've got league awards. I've got Player of the Year in the league. I've got Players of the Year voted by you guys as players. And these three guys, I mean, it's kind of interesting as I look and I reflect and I see it. The All-League is voted on by the coaches in the league. And those coaches only see 2 games of film. So that might be the 35 yards he passed against Chaparral because we didn't need to throw. Okay? Or it could have been the 423 against Regis. Yeah. So you're talking here about, to me, 3 guys that each and every one of these guys should have been first team All-League, should have been first team or second team All-State, and could have been Player of the Year on this team in this league. And so it gets voted on by people who have a base knowledge, but if I had a vote, I would have had all of them. So the awards I'm giving, in my opinion, are not perfect by any means. These guys all had an equal right to be in Player of the Year. For All-League by coaches, okay? Second team quarterback, which is an absolute joke. Bolden. First team all-conference wide receiver, Jackson Brush. First team running back, all-league, Bryce Voss. Outstanding back, voted by you as the players. Not too hard, Bryce, Foz. Offensive MVP, and again, could have been anybody. Could have been each and every one of you, but as voted on by the players, Bryce Foz. Offensive player of the league, Jackson Rush. So, as you three sit up here and represent the offense, you guys know you can't do it, just one of you, just two of you, but you got a bunch of guys. You got 11 guys playing as one. And I talk to these guys every year as we go into this, that it's going to take some time to gel. The whole goal was to be good in November, and Dane, they've been damn good in November. And so, appreciate all you guys have done for this program, the path, trajectory that you put us on, and we got some work to do to keep up to that. So, thank you guys.
All right, as I say your name, please come on up. You can applaud for them, and then please remain up here. First, I'm going to do all conference. Honorable mention, Logan Brager. Honorable mention, Jason Anderson. Second team all conference, Caleb Bolden. First team all conference, Alex Trujillo. First team all conference, Melo Castro. All right, now to some team awards voted on by the players themselves. Legend Titans Varsity Football Outstanding Linebacker for 2021, Caleb Bolden. Legend Titans Varsity Football Most Inspirational for 2021, Melo Castro. This person will have to join us up here, voted by his teammates as our defensive MVP, Nate Smith. And then the league defensive player of the year, as Coach mentioned before, Luke Sandy. Another round of applause for these gentlemen.
So if we could get Nate Smith.
Gavin Taylor, Zach Runyon, and Luke Sandy.
So just real quick about Nate Smith is we had sort of an interesting year with rugby, and he's a rugby player going into the summertime, and kind of missed some of the beginning part of our summer. And at the end of that rugby season, kind of tweaked his knee, and so we're halfway through the summer, and he really hasn't been to summer workouts much. And we want this kid to step up. And I remember coming to him really early in July, and just kind of asked him if he's going to turn it up, and he said, just with a dead face, all gas, no brakes. And from there, it was all gas and no brakes. So recognizing him as all-conference first-team defensive back and an outstanding defensive back for the Legend Titans.
As for all-conference honors for the defensive line, Gavin Taylor, second team. Luke Sandy, all-conference first team. Zach Runyon, all-conference second team. And your Legend Titans varsity football outstanding defensive lineman.
Thank you.
This next young man does more in the shadows than most know. This is a player that has a great impact on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And you don't really get to see them on the field very often. But he's responsible for any number of points that the offense puts up, and he's responsible to help the defense start a good drive inside the 20. All-conference player, kicker of the year, Caden Smith.
All right, can we have the following up to the stage, please? Josh Dane, Brecken Reeser, Levi Smith, Carter Hilfridge, Rudy Gish, and Luke Sandy. All right, first up, Carter. So much for being a good athlete. Love you too, Carter. First up, this is Southern Football Conference honorable mention, Josh Dane. Southern Football Conference, second team, Brecken Reeser. Southern Football Conference, second team, Leviticus Smith. Southern Football Conference, second team, Carter Hilfridge. Southern Football Conference, first team, Rudy Gish. Southern Football Conference, first team, Offense, Luke Sandy. And the last award that we have, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, we got two more. I'll go real quick. As voted on by the players, Legend Titans Varsity Football Outstanding Offensive Lineman for 2021, Luke Sandy.
And I'll meet this individual in the aisle because he's been getting up a lot tonight, but voted on by you guys, Legend Titans Varsity Football Outstanding Wide Receiver, Jackson Brush.
Two things. I appreciate everybody's patience. If the players want to do something for the coaches, now's the time to do it. And seniors, on your way out, we have big posters of you in the Commons. We'd love for you to pick those up on your way out. Remember, we have letters up here on the table as well.
Alright, so me and Clay have the honor of doing Coach Wilson, and since Clay and Wilson are geek twins, they got it.
So I don't know how many of you know this, but every day in this science class, Mr. Wilson does a physics fun fact of the day. And so I'd like to do this and do my own fact. There are 46,551 high school coaches for football in America, and I'm blessed that I can have you as mine.
That wasn't really a fact. That sounded like a Valentine's Day card, so we're just gonna wrap it up there. Thank you, Coach Wilson. Thank you for always believing in me. Thank you for giving me opportunities. I'll never forget you.
All right, so I get the honor of doing Coach Farley. This guy might seem really big and calm, but you can ask Sam Poe about the playoffs. He get a little anxious sometimes. Coach Farley's been one of the best coaches I've ever had. Coached me from being in a skill position to playing in the trenches and battling against kids even bigger than me or same size. And all I gotta say is thank you for everything you've done for me.
I really can't see anything right now. All right, I have the honor of doing a speech for Coach White. And I wrote an actual speech, so this is going to take a few minutes, okay? All right, this is Coach Jason's second year coaching at Legend High School, but I've known him for a long time now. In the years that I've known him, Coach White I've found him a family man, kind and generous, intense and excited, and most of all, a great coach. When Coach White believes in someone and knows that they have what it takes to play, whether that's at the Hawks football, Legend football, or even helping kids get seen for college football, he puts countless hours into helping us achieve our goals, whatever they are. He also doesn't give up on trying to help us and will be brutally honest if he thinks that we aren't giving everything that we got to achieve those goals. Coach White believes the best in people, except if they're on the other team though. Then they all suck. Everybody. Just garbage. All right. This leads me to my next point. If I had to choose a word to describe Coach White, it'd be competitor. He competes in everything, and if winning isn't enough, he needs to dominate his opponent. This also goes along with intensity. He could get a grandma hyped for a knitting competition if he wanted to. But that adds to his role as a competitor. You need to have that energy and intensity in order to compete at the levels he has. He also takes the time to teach others how to become competitors like him and teach them how to use that on the field. Coach White is a big advocate for leading by example. He's also one of the reasons that I've become a 3-year captain. He's one of the people that has taught me to lead this way, and even in the times that it's hard to do, it's always worth it in the end. Thank you, Coach White, for being such a good role model.
Can I have the Josh Weisberg come to the stand? So one of my favorite parts of my experience with this program has been the ability to work with our 3 offensive line coaches, Farley, White, and Weisberg. And funny fact is, these 3 coaches all share a very similar characteristic. What is this attribute, you may ask? Hair loss. Of these 3 coaches, Josh has had the most impact on me. He has made as many personal connections with as many players as he can over the years, which personally for me helps me to do better knowing that I have that kind of support. And after every game, he would have conversations with us and everything. Even after the Creek game, he was there on the field telling us how proud he was. And I'm not big on emotions, but he almost got me there. So I'm extremely honored to have worked with Coach Weisberg and all the other coaches.
I just want to take a quick second to say thank you to Coach Yancey. I know he's not here tonight, but he always believed in me. He was one of those guys that kept me cool on the sideline junior year when I got 0 playing time, regardless on whether or not I should have. But he kept me cool in the Cherry Creek game too. Monty remembers that. But I just want to say thank you. He's big balling now, got a new job, Mustang SUV. Already forgot about us, but I just want to say thank you to him. I know he can't be here today, but he was a big part of all of our lives. So.
Hello. Hello, Titan family. My name is Brecken Michael Reeser. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking about Daniel Michael Pietro. Me and Danny go way back to my freshman year, where I terrorized his world history class, along with Colton Warner, also known as QB1. I would go on to become an excellent scholar with the help of Danny DePietro's Avid class. The next year, this time we added Pierce Kirchner and Rudy Gish, also with Colton. I believe DePietro acquired his infamous hate for 10th graders in this class. I'm sorry to all sophomores that have been affected by Danny's wrath. Your loss is not in vain. In my experience with Danny, I feel I have seen him grow a lot as a person, teacher, and coach. I've seen him become a father. And I've seen him throw a mask at JD after the first summer we got him. I've seen him attempt to wrestle Coach Farley, abruptly ending his hero's journey. Which gets me to my next topic, Danny's temper tantrums. Sometimes adorable, sometimes mortifying. such as when he gets the occasional yelling at the twos, or when he executed a perfect J-course block on me before the Regis game, literally taking me off my feet. Perhaps the most dangerous version of him coming on Thursday, November 14th, 2019. That day brought out a new hatred in Danny I have never seen before, a hatred that J-Brush and myself agree must remain classified because of the treachery. Also, rest in peace, Sam Pope, you will not be forgotten. All jokes aside, Danny has been a huge figure in my life, someone I've always looked up to, and someone who has always been there for me. There is nobody who cares about this program like him. I'll never forget this season or the seasons in the past with Danny. I am thankful I was able to move back to receiver so he could be my coach. I will forever miss this wide receiver room we have. I love you all, and I love you, Coach D.
I've been blessed with speaking about Coach J.D. Brookhart. I didn't really prepare anything, but we're going to go off the dome. Coach J.D. is probably the most influential person I've ever met in my life, and he's taught me many great lessons, and he has some insane sayings, like persist without exception. And Coach J.D. has taught me how to become a better man, not just on the football field, but off the football field. He's probably made the most impact on my life out of anyone I've ever met, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful I met him. And I'm very grateful that I got to play under him for 3 and 4 years. So thank you.
We're talking about Coach Mark Preston. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here today with his full-time job as a pilot. But we're just very thankful that we are able to have him as our coach, and even with a full-time job, he's able to make practices and just do everything that he can for us. I mean, like, he literally runs to practice from his house. Like, he'll get home from his job and just come straight to practice, so we're really thankful for him.
Coach Mark is such a great person on and off the field. I feel like there's a few things that make a coach really good, like being kind and caring to like really influence your guys a lot, and he's all of those things. So Coach Mark is really patient and positive all the time. I don't really know how he's able to maintain that smile on his face all the time. We've really grown as people from Coach Mark, and we appreciate it for that.
I'd like to call up Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas is an absolutely amazing person and one of the genuine nicest person I've ever met in my entire life. I am up here today because Bryce Voss was too scared to come up and give a speech. And I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Douglas for being my favorite coach on the team and the most inspiring person to look up to. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Jason. I was a middle linebacker this year, and honestly, I didn't really know how to start the speech off. But it shouldn't be too hard, because I don't think, or it'd be hard not to have a good speech, because there's a lot of great things I can say about this guy. I met Rosh my freshman year, and ever since his presence, role, and just overall influence in my life have grown significantly. And that's something I'm very grateful for, because it's affected me even outside of football.
Rosh has told me on many occasions that he's more than just a coach, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say to all of you right now. And don't get me wrong, I mean, he's pretty awesome when it comes to football. He's a great coach, and he's taught everyone on the defense an awful lot about football. But I want to emphasize the kind of person he is, and I mean, he's just a great person. He's caring, he's nice, and he's reliable, and that's something that has meant a lot to me. And honestly, the only bad thing I can say about him is that he's a Green Bay Packers fan. But that's not even all that bad. So, Rosh, thank you. I know I can speak on everyone's behalf when I say we really appreciate you and everything you've done for us.
I get the pleasure of speaking about Coach Aldridge tonight, and we all call him Dev, so that's probably what I'll be calling him throughout the speech. So, my first time really getting to know Dev was last year when me and Alex would dunk on him after practice and after our JV games, and we carry on that tradition today with Coach Roshel. And, but just the biggest thing about Dev that everyone knows and loves is just how fun he makes practice. And going to practice wasn't a chore this year because of it. And he just made it fun to go to every practice. And he came with us to Wings, and we just made a lot of memories, and he just made this season super fun and memorable. So thank you, Coach Aldridge.
I'm Jack Bennett. I worked with video editing this year. I was very nervous starting out because it was my very first year working with the camera. But I just wanted to give a thank you to Mr. Pietro for believing in me and for believing with my graphic design process, and for everybody else who believed in me. So thank you to everyone.
Welcome and join me.
Hold these. Punch yourself in the stomach. I'm just kidding, just kidding. I get the honor and privilege of talking about Coach Thielen. Coach Thielen is one of those dudes and guys who's had a big effect on me through my 4 years here at Legend High School. As a freshman, he definitely did not know my name, which was kind of sad because I thought I was definitely going to start varsity as a freshman. But it's whatever. Called Carter Connor for the first year, called Brecken Brackle, so I wasn't the only one, I guess. But I never thought that I would be where I am today without Coach Thielen, even though he was not a specified coach for my position. He once texted me, "Jackson, I am very disappointed in you, and you have so much to give to this team," after I get 0 hour for the 3rd time in 1 week. It was the day of our homecoming game, and I was always screwing around for the first couple weeks of this season, because, you know, why not? And, well, after he said that, I definitely decided to lock in and make an impact on this team like I could, and like I tried, and just want to thank you for that, and giving me a good boost for that, and I'll always forever be in your debt. Amen, brother. All right, thank you.
Oh yeah.
We
really appreciate everybody. Thanks so much for your time. Everybody that put on tonight's affair, we're indebted to you as well. Thank you very much. Good night. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Go Titans.
Ow! I gotta see that. You gotta go home. Overtime 2028. I swear. 28, bro. Bro, then why the hell you care about the Chargers game?